superb. I do not think there's any way anybody will have detected it. Because let me quickly explain it. Now, there are several people that didn't get their voter's card. So what I'm supposed to do in some of these selected polling units that these guys have carved out for me, that they would help me to rig. In every polling unit, a polling unit has a maximum of 500 voters. But we all know that not all the voters come out. So let's assume 300 people had come to get accredited. They will signal my guys to say, okay, we have 200 people. Now, bring 150 people. Let them use just one voter's card. They will give them a code. Once they mention the code, we will know that this is we. So once the code is mentioned, we will quickly swipe the PVC. At that time, the agents are probably tired. So they are not, the polling party agents are probably tired and are not looking the way to ensure that the PVC gets properly swiped. So once we quickly do that, we put the ink on their hand. And lo and behold, they are ready to vote. And they were going to do that perfectly. All the ad hoc staffs on those polling units were already on my side. But I stopped it. I said to them, you know what? If you do this and I get into office, one day I'm going to stand up and I'm going to confess. Because my conscience will not take it anymore. But the point I'm making this morning is that can only happen because there are just few polling party agents in each of the polling units. So when you go to polling units, the last elections, you probably saw PDP party agents and you saw APC party agent. In some instances, maybe Labour Party. I'm talking of Lagos State now. And some pocket of other parties like that. But you will not find any other party that has the spread like these two parties. So if I'm contesting under, say, Party B, and I cannot afford, because there are no volunteers, because you are there in your houses, you have refused to join these parties. So we don't have volunteers that will stand for us at the polling unit. So let's assume I have 5 votes. That 5 votes can be shared between those two parties. I'm telling you what is done. Because there's no party agent to defend my vote. So the guys will just look at themselves, you know what? This party has 5 votes. Let's share it, 2, 3, depending on who has the greater financial muscle. So rigging is real because you have chosen not to be involved. In 2011, I was in a partisan politics, but I supported a candidate. I went to their secretariat. I asked them, this is where I live. Do you have party polling agents there? They said they don't have. So by myself, I organized nothing less than 50 people who were not party members, but I believed in that person. I wanted the person to win. So I organized party people to join for that time to be party agents. And we did a good job for that person. That is how to get involved. So, forget about ballot stuffing. They don't do ballot stuffing anymore. It was in the days of the UPN and HPN that they stuff ballot. That's not been done anymore. Violence on election days have also reduced. So I've described to you how our modern politicians rig elections. When you get involved, you also have more options to choose from. When we get involved, competitions will be stiffer, thereby producing the best. When you get involved, elected candidates will be forced to perform because they know you have been involved. Let's assume you've been involved, but your party lost. Now you are going to stand as opposition to make the party in power accountable. I think it's high time in this nation we need to set a standard minimum performance level for all our elected leaders. And they must know it, that we are watching them. You see, the political class knows something about us, that we can make noise, that we can bark, but we can't bite. Once we are involved, they know that you will not only bark, you will bite. And that is where we need to get to in this nation if we're going to move forward. There are some people in this nation that have constituted themselves as powers and principalities. And until you and I challenge them by getting involved in one way or the other, they will forever remain powers and principalities. Can I tell you, these powers and principalities became powers and principalities because they did something. Because they did something. And so you can't take it away from them. They've spent money. They've built people. They've organized meetings. They've fed people. You can't take it away from them. While I was contesting, there are certain people you go and meet knowing that once this person buys into me, I have 500 people. Why? Because those 500 people are listening to him. Those are powers and principalities. You in your community, you can become a power, you can become a principality. So we all have a role to play. We can't just fold our hands. As a pastor, I got tired of praying for things I know government should do. There are certain things I ought not to pray for. It's government's job. Now, we call out for people looking for jobs. I pastor a church not as big as Covenant Christian Center. Pastor Pt.3 will pray for people that are looking for jobs. Other pastors will be praying. 10 jobs, thousands of people. Now there will be anointing clash. This will be needless if our nation is working. So the point I'm making is, we cannot afford to be talking about leadership failure anymore. Let's talk about followership failure. So we also have failed our nation. When I was going to politics, I said to myself, I'm going to show that there's a better way of doing politics. That there's a breed without greed. That politics can be done, that you can have contact without having contamination. And that is possible. That you can go in there, be among the wolves, and not behave like the wolves. If politics is dirty, let's be the detergent. Let's clean it up. The truth that every politician knows is that politics is a game of numbers. So they will scare you that you shouldn't be involved. But I stand before you, I was involved. I got phone calls threatening me, but nobody did anything to me. They were just caring. They don't want me to be involved. They don't want you and I to be involved. But we got involved, and I lost the elections, but I'm glad I participated in it. Politics is one of those things that you cannot know until you are involved. When I read what people say on, I'm sure my brother here will have gotten some experience right now. Because certain things you know, standing as a fan is different from when you enter the pitch. Everybody is a good footballer on the stand. Everybody knows where the ball should be played. Everybody knows who to dribble and who not to dribble. But if you really can't, get on the field. So I lost the election, spent a lot of money, but no regret, because things that I know today, you probably don't know them. So when I see people make analysis on Facebook and say stuff, I just smile. Because as I stand, I know the way of politicians.